perhaps we should start. We don't have so much time. We have 1 hour today, and we're going to make the most of it. So my name is Maj-Britt Rosenmeier-Olsen, and I'm Associate Director at the European Water Association, the EWA. And on behalf of the European Water Association, I would like to welcome you all to this first webinar in the WorldSkills series in Basics for Beginners. So as you will hear more about here in the next hour, it is so that in 2021 we will have the WorldSkills in Shanghai, China, and in 2023 in Lyon in France. And since the European Water Association is an association primarily of national water associations, we wish to give everyone, all the countries, the best opportunity to prepare themselves for the WorldSkills. And this is why we have decided to launch this series of WorldSkills webinars together with the German Association for Water, Wastewater and Waste, the EWA, and the WorldSkills Germany. So this first WorldSkills webinar will be moderated by Rüdiger Heidebrecht, who I now will give the word to. He is the head of the training department and at the Association for Water, Wastewater and Waste, the EWA, and he will moderate this session and introduce the speakers to you. I sincerely hope that you will all enjoy this webinar very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Maj-Britt, for your nice introduction words. Hello, everybody outside in the world. I can see 34 people here. I got the list from the organizers this morning, and I have a list of 48 people here with 16 countries. And I saw also some friends over here. Aswanta from India, the winner from last year. I see Leo and Hilma, our chief experts. Steve Harrison from the WEF, from the American Water Association. We learned a lot from the WEF people. The Albanian Association I have seen there are joined in, and also from Egypt, Fayez. So some friends hopefully watching what is going on. We are here on GoToWebinar, so you can see us. We cannot see you, but you can have a chat and ask questions, and then we get this question, we come back to you. So it's a pleasure that we have two speakers here. First of all, I hand over my screen. Let me just check how I can do that. I am übertragen meine Website. No, sorry. Abbrechen. No, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. Übertragen.
Hubert Roma is presenter now.
Yeah, okay. So we will start with Hubert Roma, but later on I will explain what we do in this series of these webinars. This is the first one what we start now, and we want to continue in the future to go, because I think it's a good chance that we can inform people through this kind of webinars. I think because of the Corona time, it's very difficult to meet. All the training activities stopped a bit. Now we're starting again in Germany with training, but Corona makes it more difficult. But this is for beginners, and Hubert gets it ready. Hubert is the boss of WorldSkills Germany, and he knows everything about WorldSkills, and I think that is very important to tell us what is WorldSkills and what we're doing there. So Hubert, you're doing the job quite often, and also Rodrigo will join us. He's the skill manager from Brazil. So we got up early this morning, and Hubert, please, it's your time now to present what is WorldSkills. Tell the people outside what we do, how many skills we have, and perhaps you tell us also a little bit about how you see the water sector from in WorldSkills. What is the opinion of yours? What is the skill in water doing, and how important that is? Of course, the others are also important, but tell us a little bit what you see on this one. So it's your turn, please, Hubert, 20 minutes.
Thank you so much, Rüdiger, and thank you so much, Maj-Britt, for the nice introduction. So welcome from my side on behalf of WorldSkills Germany. Welcome and good afternoon to everybody. Good morning, good night, all around the world. It's a great pleasure and honor for me to be with you today and to give you a short impression about WorldSkills and the movement of WorldSkills International. All the time when people ask me, what is WorldSkills about? I say to them, do you know the fairy tale of Alice in Wonderland? And people say, yeah, we know that. And they say, WorldSkills is like that. Because if you open a door, all the time you find another world, an exciting world, and water, wastewater, your skill is like a door you can go through, and it's a really exciting world. And so we have many skills like that. And that's a reason why I all the time say WorldSkills is like a virus, but it is a positive virus compared to others. If you get in contact with WorldSkills, you never will lose contact because it takes you away, and it's a great movement all around the world. Let's have a short journey in with us together to see when did WorldSkills start. I don't know, is my screen visible? Can you see my presentation? You really, can you give me a feedback if everything is okay with a...
Yes, it's good. Screen? I can see it. It's fine.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, the first slide, you can see a picture from the last WorldSkills competition. It was held in Kazan 2019. But WorldSkills is much more older. We started in the late 40s in the last century with WorldSkills competitions. So it is more than 70 years old. And initially, it was a peacemaking motivation to found an organization or movement like WorldSkills. It was the wish after the Second World War to bring young people together, to get them in contact, to give them an opportunity to compete in the skills in their occupation, to be better, to showcase excellence, and to be friends afterwards. So people said, if we are friends and if we are excellent in their skills, we never will make a fight against each other, so we will stay as friends. And honestly, it works. Still today, it's a great peacemaking movement all around the world. But the governments all around the world understood very early it is a really positive effect on the educational system. WorldSkills is much more like only a competition. It is in great impulse, has a great effect on educational systems. You will find standards. You will find some inspiring young people who can give you some ideas how you can improve your educational system in your country. So in the early days of WorldSkills, the movement was growing and increasing very fast. That means, for example, Germany joined the movement in 1953. And afterwards, in a couple of years, it started to be a global movement, like you can see now here on the map. Nowadays, WorldSkills has 84 members, and we are talking with some new members joining us very soon. So it's a fast-growing organization all around the world, and Africa, you can see, is growing from year to year as well. The last member was, for example, Kenya, and Ghana is a young member in these countries and continents. So more than 80% of the population around the world is now in between the membership of WorldSkills. And if you compare WorldSkills, just to give you an impression how the organization works, you can compare it to the International Olympic Committee. That means on the right side, you can see the International IOC, the committee. On the left side, you can see WorldSkills International. It's a non-for-profit organization. It's based in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and it's an independent organization, but it's linked to the United Nations, UNIDO, UNIVOC, ILO. So it's a great partnership with this global organization as well. And every nation has its own national independent organization. For example, WorldSkills Germany is compared to the German Olympic Committee, representation of Germany. And in Germany, it is the government. Each government has to give you the allowance to represent WorldSkills in Germany, or to represent Germany in the WorldSkills global family. We have partners, we have members on the national level, like the DWA. So we have partners all around the world on the national level to support the national organizations to do the mini WorldSkills, if you want to say so, the national competitions in a professional way as well. So what we do is a lot of more than only competitions, but just have a look around some nice ideas around WorldSkills. Like I said to you, in 1953 we joined, Germany joined WorldSkills as an official member, and since then we had 3 times a national WorldSkills competition in Germany. For example, in 1961 in Duisburg, 1973 in Munich, and 2013, for example, in Leipzig. Many of you maybe remember the time we had in Leipzig. It was a great time. And from competition to competition, WorldSkills is growing. The last time in Kazan, it was incredible to see how many competitors we had, like 1,360 young competitors. The best people, young people, technicians, and specialized people from all around the world. So it's growing from time to time. And I don't want to imagine how big Shanghai will be next time. We just took a nice phrase from a young competitor. It is Valmir. He told us skill competitions are a unique opportunity to prove your skills. You should use this opportunity to go beyond your own limits, have a goal and surpass it. That means young people are the best we can get out of these competitions. That means people like Valmir, like Lucas and others are the best ambassador to tell other young people how about the skill is, how about the occupation is, and they can inspire them to follow them to do the same like they do. So it's great, and yeah, you don't have to make advertisements or commercials because you have a young ambassadors. WorldSkills Germany is just an example. It's like an example like it is in other countries as well. But our task is, why do we do that? Why is a national organization doing competitions or joining WorldSkills? It is because we want to strengthen our vocational training in our country, because we get a lot of kickback from WorldSkills competitions. We get standards back, we get innovation. If you talk about Brazil, for example, and other countries, we are so inspiring. Why don't we take that? So we do that. We have a look and we take it back to our country, and we learn a lot from these people. So it's a fantastic benchmark, and we want to have more awareness in the public area. So media and the politics, etc. We can get them in contact with these inspiring young people and with their competitions. Yeah, and the global network is incredible. So if you join WorldSkills, if you join the skill area you are working in, like water and wastewater, it's incredible what you can get back, because the exchange is enormous. And Hilmar, he's with us, or Rodrigo is with us. They can tell us stories about the experience we have since we started the journey with WorldSkills. Yeah, and we have, for sure, we have a patron, our Chancellor, Angela Merkel. She's a patron of our national team. So the awareness in the high politic area is enormous, and that is the reason why we do that, because we need that. We need a lobbying, a networking into the high politic area, just to inspire people and give them a clue and an idea how our skills are about. Just a small slide, not too long, I want to tell you, but we are a non-for-profit organization like other countries have as well. Some national organizations are linked to the ministries, some are like we, a non-for-profit private organization. We are private-public partnership. So we have different systems and types of national organizations. Here's one example like we have in Germany. Where do we get money come back? Finances. Okay, please excuse, where is a missing N in my presentation? But we are getting money from a public hand, from the government. We are getting money from the members, member fees, and we are getting money from sponsors and donations. That's the income we are getting in. So that's the money we can work with to go out into the world. WorldSkills is more than that. As I told you, we are networkers, we are talent promoters, we are brand advertisers, we are innovators, creators, trainers, impulse generators, and sales initiators. I'm showing you the slide because it's very important to connect to everybody in a social area, in the economy, in the politics. So the more you're connected and linked to these areas, the stronger is your national organization in that. For example, WorldSkills does have 85 members. We have more than 1 million entrepreneurs who are behind these organizations, who are members in our organization. And we have, for example, 438 billion euro sales a year just coming in from our members. It's not our money, but it shows how strong the community on national level is. Yeah, just short some more figures about that. Not too many I want to show, but we asked people to give, just especially for the presentation today, to give us some statements just to show you what do people think about that. And Herbert Mattes, he's a trainer and he's an excellent expert in a skill like CNC turning and milling. And he says the principle of learning through competition ensures that Chiron, that's a company, has excellently trained, motivated, and committed young specialists in application technology. Just this sentence shows us why we do that. It's not only for winning a gold medal, it's having excellently trained, motivated, and committed young specialists. And I'm pretty sure you know that you can inspire young people with that. If you talk about WorldSkills, over time you should have a pyramid in your mind. So on the top of a pyramid you will find the WorldSkills and EuroSkills, for example, for competitions, for regional competitions, like in the Americas competitions, etc., and Asian competitions. And then we have national, regional, local competitions, and you have career orientation in school. So we are doing a lot of work for young people to bring them to an excellence level. Here's the competitor in painting and decoration. That's a really incredible thing to see that. That is another skill. I can't see that exactly, but just to show you the fields of activity national organizations are working in, it's enormous. It's not only one little cell, it's much more. It's incredible how the different platforms are working together. Yeah, Jessica Sturm, that's the lady you could see. You gain experience for life, even you don't win. So you don't have to win. You're a winner at the end anyway. We do international competitions. We do inclusive competitions, all of us. It's not only the one group, it's the other one, especially people for special needs. We do a great job with that. We do national competitions, as I told you, regional competitions. We do virtual competitions. We are talking about that today, I'm sure. We do training centers. We help them to do local trainings to be the best. We do career orientation. We do the WorldSkills Academy to train the trainers. It's really important to give them the opportunity to get better, to train the competitors afterwards. And we do a lot of communication, like a magazine, etc., for the people. And that's the network we have to do. Education and training, partnerships. WorldSkills Germany, for example, has a great partnership with Ghana. We are working with them, and water is a great topic in that. So Ghana is a friend and partner with WorldSkills Germany, for example. Yeah, and together with all these things we are doing, we are stepping into the future. We are the brick you have to step on to get into the future. And that's the big group which is standing behind a national organization. And it's like a copy-paste for every country we have. So that is a great community just to bring young people out into the world and to create new skills and disciplines. So that was a short survey, a short journey with you together through the history of WorldSkills and to the system and organization on a global and national level. I would like to hand over back to you, Rüdiger, because maybe there are some questions, and I'm sure we talk about that later on as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hubert. I think that a very quick go through the history about that, and I think that is very important. I have not seen any questions here in the chat, but so please, people, if you are outside, have questions to one of our lecturers here, please drop us in the chat. You see that you can write down there, and then we get your questions and everything. Hubert, one question from my side: how you see the water sector? You know us already since 2010. I think that's 10 years now. How you say you have the overall experience about all the 55, 56 skills? How you see the water sector in the song of all the different skills? What do you think? What is water doing?
Honestly, when I had my first contact with your discipline and with the water section in 2008 and 10, you're right. I didn't know a lot about your skills, and I was really surprised. It was like Alice in Wonderland. You opened the door for me, and I was really inspired and surprised because I met people who did a great job and were very skilled, and I understood the discipline is not easy to learn. There's a lot of skills you have to know. At the end of the day, I was surprised why we didn't have had this skills in between WorldSkills till these days, because it's so important and everybody is dealing with water. We are fighting because of water, and water is our life. I didn't understand why we didn't have a skill like water skill in between WorldSkills. So for me, it's one of the top 5 skill of WorldSkills International we need, and I'm so happy we have it. We will have it in Shanghai as well. And since the journey we started in 2013 in Leipzig till today, there was an enormous development in between this skill. So I'm pretty sure a lot of other skills are using now the water skill like a benchmark for their skill to be more innovative, to be more modern, to be more state of the art, because you're using augmented reality, you're using virtual reality, and you're using a lot of other tools, other skills are not using yet. So you're a great benchmark for the others, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, thanks a lot, Hubert, for that. And I think we have to go on for the next one. I hope you can see my presentation here now.
Rüdiger, before we move on, we actually did have a question. We had someone ask if it was possible perhaps to get the presentations after the webinar.
Yes, all the presentation we will send to all the participants. Yes, all of them.
Thank you very much.
So please, Hubert, can you send us your presentation, and also Rodrigo, that we can give it then to our people then?
Absolutely, I will do.
Okay, can you see my presentation now? Can somebody give me feedback? Maybrit, can you see that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we can see. We can see.
Okay, then thanks, Hubert, and I will continue now with the WorldSkills. As you can see here, we are gearing up for WorldSkills Shanghai. You have seen the 3 lectures already, and what I told you, it's a series of webinars what we want to do. The first one we have today on the 21st of October. We will what we learned from Kazan, 25th of November. how to make marketing about that. And we have another series of webinars and in January, February. And hopefully, when Corona allows it, we will have also a 1-week training in Germany end of March, early April next year, but we will decide that end of October because of the Corona situation. And then, of course, in Shanghai, we make a live webinars every day, and we will have also a reflection of all the events then after Shanghai. So that is a series of webinars coming with it. So we learned what is WorldSkills already, and it's a teamwork. And you can see here, this was 2017. It's a teamwork of a number of people, and we have the company of Adiro, Festo, WorldSkills Germany, and we also got the UN Habitat Global Water Operator Partnership to support that. So it's not a one-man show, it's a teamwork of people who are a little bit crazy, I would say, but who like that to make competition, because it's kind of a virus. If you get it once, you keep it. This is a positive virus, of course, and not a negative one. How it looks like in 2021 in Shanghai. These are big halls. I have been to Shanghai a couple of times, so this is really a big trade show, I can tell you. So this for sure will be a big event in Shanghai next year. So which countries joined already here? You can see Germany, Belarus, Russia, Brazil, Zambia is new, Kenya is new, South Africa, India, China, Taipei, South Korea, Singapore, and Japan is also new. I learned from Egypt that they want to join us very soon. Up to now, it's not on the list officially, but unofficially, I heard that they are interested to join. And hopefully, we get more and more. So we are quite happy that we have already these countries on board and pre-nominated. And it's very important that the family of WorldSkills water technology is growing. What is the skills about? Just one slide here on the left side, and you see the water supply in Germany. On the right-hand side, you'll see the wastewater plants. And we need stuff on that. We need technicians. We need what we call master technician in Germany. We need skills people for drinking water and wastewater. And not only for municipalities, also for industry. What does they do? I go over that. That is on our brochure. We have a PDF brochure. You find it on our website and with our partners. And we wrote down what it is about. I don't want to repeat that. You can read that later on. I think that is very good. Why is that so important? This is just one slide to show you the importance in 2025, and that is only in a couple of years. 2 out of 3 people won't have enough water in the world. They come into water shortage. 80% of the world's wastewater is not treated at all. 80%. This is a big number, and this was written in the World Water Report 2017. I think that shows how important water is. And I think that is very important about that. So we have different learning areas. We learn on the workplace, we learn in the school, in vocational training center, we learn in university, in training centers, we learn informal with friends and YouTube. But I think it's very important also to learn in competition, because competition is a natural thing for the humans. We want to be better, we want to share experience, we want to move, and I think it's a natural thing. We do in DWA not only WorldSkills. Here you can see we do also university challenges in different countries together with the IFAD, which is a big trade show organization in Germany, one of the biggest trade shows in the world related to water and waste. And we also do the water skills, World Water Skills, and the WorldSkills Germany. The WorldSkills Germany is a national skills competition where we found our competitors for WorldSkills Shanghai. So normally we do that every 2 years during the IFAD, getting young people. Normally we have 10 teams from Germany, and they meet, and then we look who is the best one. And out of these people, we choose the persons who goes to Shanghai and to the WorldSkills. So every country more or less needs a kind of, let's say, clearance show and skills competition to find out who is a good guy. Because WorldSkills is the age of 24 is important. They should not be older than 24. That is very important. But we also provide skills competition for older guys, I call it. And we learned that from WEFTEC, from the Americans, from Steve Harrison. We learned a lot in 2009. and we come to that. So in Munich, we do that every 2 years in Munich, that we have the young and the older staff doing practical exercise. And I've seen these kind of things all over the world, in Brazil, in Netherlands, in America, in Egypt, and so on. Here we see Egypt 2015 fires. If he's on here joining us, he can see them. And they came already a couple of times over with the winners from Egypt to Munich, and they had a lot of fun and they learned a lot, I think. We went to the WEFTEC in Chicago 2015. We learned from the American colleagues because they're doing that things already more than 30 years. So we picked up a lot of information from our American friends. So members, Hubert told that already. Here you see the map where we started the journey. We started the journey in 2013, and then Festo did it in 2015 in Brazil. Abu Dhabi, we had a try. This was also very much organized from Festo. And then in Russia, we got officially skill in WorldSkills in 2021 in China. It continues, and then 2023 in France. Here you see the countries who joined already in the different years, and the list gets longer and longer, and hopefully we get more and more countries who joined once and keep them going, because I think it's a big family and we can learn from each other. In Leipzig, we had 10 teams, German teams, teams of 3 people we had at that time. Now the skills competition is 1 person at the time. 1 person is for China. And our national competition, what we do in Germany, we have 2 teams, teams of 2 people or 3 people. So we do that still in Germany with more people than 1. But in WorldSkills, it's 1 person who travels. Here you see some pictures from Leipzig, just to show you how it started. We called that at the time water technology, and I think it's drinking water and wastewater. Here you see a lot of young people also in Leipzig coming and joining. This was starting in 2013. We started the skills competition in Germany in 2010 during the IFAD, and 2013 the journey for WorldSkills started. Here, then it came to Abu Dhabi. 2015 was Brazil with Festo, and 2017. Here you see the experts from the different countries and the participants. We had 5 participants at that time. And I think that was a quite good exercise for all of us to learn how it is and to grow into the whole WorldSkills atmosphere. At that time, Iran was winning. They were pretty happy, and I think they're doing a good educational job in Iran, as far as I understood from our expert, and they did a very good job in that time. And then we had a training in April 2018 for WorldSkills Kazan. This is in Stuttgart, and the people came to Stuttgart, and our chief expert Hilmar, he trained them, and also the Adiro people, they helped a lot. And this is what we want to do next year again in early April. Hopefully we can do it because of Corona, but we're planning early April next year. Here you see the winner from Kazan, Aswanta in the middle, the Chinese colleague, and Singapore. So I think that was a great show, and you see Mr. Putin here on the right-hand side. This was really a big show in Kazan, and I never saw such a big atmosphere like this. This is quite important, because the boss of WorldSkills, who just pushing to water technology, he came to see us, and because we were one of the new skills in Kazan. So skill number 55 was new, first time that our people got that. And on the right-hand side, so you see the 11 young people. Hopefully next time we have some ladies there, because I think it should not be only a man competition, it should be also some ladies over there. Here you see how it looks like, the equipment. We get a lot of equipment from Festo and from Adiro, and also local equipment from Russia. This is how it looks like. Every competitor has his own workplace, and they have to do these things. You find a lot of videos on my YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and put my name in, you find a lot of videos. There are 12 videos from Kazan showing the exercise, and also from Abu Dhabi you find a lot of information over there. Here's some pictures, the pumping exercise and the lab exercise. sustainable price. WorldSkills want that everybody works without a lot of waste and works carefully. So the German guy, he got the prize for the sustainable. He had less energy, less waste. So we worked quite nicely, Lucas, here. But of course, WorldSkills is for youngsters, but also for older people, it's very important. And why we do that? Because it's a very active learning. Action and not talking, I think that is very important. Learning with hands, hearts, and brain. So not only online learning is good, I think you really have to do so. Unforgettable moments, this is very important, and learning with fun makes much more enjoyable than motivation, proudness for the job. And you see here the guy, the older guy here on the picture, he's the boss of the wastewater department of Stuttgart. He was also in the board of members in DWA. And the bosses are looking now for the young people. Normally they don't look that much to the young people, but when the competition comes, all the bosses are looking, what is my team doing, how they perform. So it gets also in the organization much more awareness for the young people for education and training. So that is for further information, as I told you, go to the YouTube list, go to the website h2o-skills.de. We put a lot of information there, also what kind of the skills competition were done in Tanzania with GIZ, or in Brazil I have seen one. So a lot of information you find over there. So now, Rodrigo, that was my lecture. Is there any questions? Maybrit, have you heard anything?
Yes, we have a question here for Hubert.
From Cuba?
Yes, Hubert, are you with us still?
Hubert.
I'm here, yes.
Good. The question is that you said that the water was in the top 5 of the professions. And the question here is, in your opinion, which other professions belong in the top 5?
It depends on the criteria you're looking on. What I wanted to say is how innovative are new skills and the skills in between WorldSkills. And water technology is one of one. I think the others are, for example, robot system integration, industry 4.0. So you see, I compare it with the high-tech skills we have, the future skills. So for me, water technology is a kind of future skill. So I hope I could answer the question.
I think water is everywhere in the world. I think nobody runs out without water. I think that is something, a positive things. Every country facing that. And as I showed you, a lot of countries in the world have problems with water, the water scarcity, climate change adaptation. So these are, the industry is growing in many countries in the world, hopefully also after Corona. So water is everywhere, and 3 out of 4 jobs in the world depending on water. There's no car mechanics without water. There's no food production without water. So you name it. So without water, the other skills cannot work. Most of them. Okay, any other questions? Maybrit? No? Okay. Then we go to Rodrigo. Now Rodrigo is a skill manager, and he was an expert in Abu Dhabi from Brazil. And then he became a skill manager, and we are lucky that we have him. And he is looking for the tasks and what the people have to do, and the judge and all the different details. That's his job. And Rodrigo, tell us what we did already in the past, and how the people should train and how they can orientate it themselves when new countries are coming. How to start, what to begin, what should they learn? Perhaps you can give them a little bit advice on that. So that's your floor, Rodrigo.
Okay, thanks, Rutger. Good morning. Well, good morning for me. Good afternoon over there. I'm sharing my screen. I don't know if you can see it. Can you give me a feedback?
Yeah, we see it. I can see it.
Okay, great, thanks. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about water technology. So, well, we all know how important water is, not just because our bodies is made of water and we need it for drinking, for cooking, and especially nowadays in this crazy COVID-19 world, you need it for personal hygiene more than ever. But water, it's also in almost every single industrial processing that exists. Every single product that you buy on a shelf, water was even a part of this product or one of the inputs that was used to produce it. So there's an extra role that water will play, which is to keep the world economy alive. So how do we treat water? This is a very common question that I hear it all the time. What do you do to treat water? And it's funny because there's still a lot of people that think it's just like some magical thing, you know, that you just add magical powder, a magical dust, and voila, water is clean. And we all know that that's not the case. There's a lot of treatment steps that are required to treat water. We begin with some raw physical segregation, settling, some chemical reactions will take place. There's biochemical process due to biological growth, and of course, even advanced purifying steps. And of course, for that, we use equipments, high-tech equipments. So there's a lot of technology behind this industry, okay? We need, for example, automatic scrappers, pumps, compressors, sensors to measure infinity of variables like flow level, chemical concentration of a lot of species, different species. So again, there's a lot of technology behind that. And when we get everything together, so we can keep a treatment plant, a water facility running, we need to take care of three main aspects, okay? Which is you have to do lab analysis to keep quality assurance. You need to guarantee that this water is drinkable, or this wastewater it's clean enough to be discharged back to a riverbed. You need to do maintenance to keep everything running. And you need automation, because you don't want to be pressing a button every single minute to on and off a pump or some sensor or things like that. So those three aspects, it's the core of water technology. When we got these aspects together, we have our test project, okay? So this is our test project. I'm gonna start with one by one, then I'm gonna talk a little bit on the integration of those modules, okay? Module, it's how you would call task, okay? In WorldSkills, we call it modules. So we have module A to E, and module A, it's the virtual reality. We call it the VR station. It's where you have knowledge about water and wastewater treatment steps. And it's the one that will give basic information to all the rest of the modules. Module B, it's the laboratory. It's where we have standard protocols for analysis, water, wastewater, sludge, biogas, and also to do process control for quality assurance. Module C is the mechanical station. It's where we have our daily maintenance. Module D is the automation, where we have process control, infinity of variables, sensors calibration, troubleshooting. And when you get everything that happened in module A to D, you need to put everything together in a report. So part of the process control in a water facility, it's also do a report to make, for example, event correlations, alarm notifications that might went off during the day, okay? And there's also documentation regarding law and standard regulatory parameters, even for drinking water or to discharge wastewater. So that's the test project, okay, starting by module A, which is the VR station. The VR station, of course, we cannot have a real water or wastewater treatment plant in the venue where WorldSkills happens, but we can simulate water treatment in a virtual reality environment. Okay, so that's what we do. We simulate the everyday inspection that takes place in the daily basis of a worker, of a water technician. Beside of this walkthrough that you will make in this virtual environment, we also have a software to do some simulations, because you often have to set some controls to troubleshoot some problems, to fix a few things in the treatment plant, and then you have to run some extra calculations and some simulations to check if in the real life these things that you did will work correctly. So we use, right now for Shanghai, we're gonna use Simba, which is a software from IFAC. The lab station, again, you have in this walkthrough to the VR environment, you might find some chemical instability, for example. Okay, so you have to go into the real life lab to do the proper chemical analysis or to adjust some chemical dosage to get the optimized treatment for this water or for this wastewater. So again, you have an integration of the virtual reality. You see what your task is, and then you go to a real lab to perform the work that is required. The mechanical station, it's again where we do our daily maintenance. Okay, so we have equipment which is from Festo and Adiro, which is called the pump station. Actually, it's not just a pump, because it has almost everything that we need from the equipment from a treatment plant. You have tanks, you have pumps, you have sensors, you have valves, you have pressurized systems, and you can do a kind of repair in that station. This picture is showing one of the modules that we had to execute in Kazan, where we need to take off this pump and put it over a table and perform some preventive maintenance to change a few seals and to check some things to keep the equipment running properly. And finally, the automation. Again, you need the treatment plant to work without you pushing a button. Okay, so we need automation for that. And with automation, you need to do calibration. You have to adjust some sensors. You have to also be careful with equipment that run without energy efficiency. We don't want the treatment to be too high cost. We want the treatment to be with cost under control. So we also have to adjust energy efficiency within those equipments, and all those things we can do within the automation station. So a few information about the test project. It will be delivered on C- form. It's been developed in secret. We have a few test project designers that I will talk about it later. So to experts, it's 4 days prior to the competition, and I think the best part is that for competitors, it's delivered just before the task starts. It's very common to hear why you do that. We are doing this because we want to raise the level of the competition, especially due to a surprise factor. Actually, we want to make the competition even more similar with real life, because in real life, you really don't know what you're going to do tomorrow. You get to your work, you get to your water treatment plant, and then there's a few things that you have to do. So you have to think, you have to plan, and even sometimes you have to improvise some things. And those are the things that we want to highlight, this kind of intelligence. And we also are giving more chances. We're making a much fair environment, and especially giving more chance to countries with less training resource. Because we know that by the end of the day, there are countries that can provide a more specific training program, a much more complex training program, and some countries with less resource, they cannot be in the same level. Okay, so when you have this surprise factor, you can level everybody like together. Okay, and of course there are a few things that will be delivered prior to the competition, like 1 month prior to the competition at least, like the professional practice assessment. Actually, there's an app that's being developed for that. The professional practice, it's one of the tools that we have to assess the competitors. It shows best practice and also what not to do, things that you shouldn't do in your daily work. Other documents like standard procedures for all stations, standard procedures like for laboratory analysis, this will also be delivered at least 1 month prior to the competition. Okay. And we have actually a few modules that are integrated, like modules A, B, and E. They are all integrated together. Module A presents the situation in the virtual reality. So, for example, there's maybe a chemical instability that you have to take care of in module B, which is the lab. Okay, and whatever the outcome from that analysis, you have to do a report, which is in module E. Okay, so those 3 modules, they work together, they are integrated. And they're not quite integrated, but modules A, C, and D, they do relate each other, because in modules C and D, you have some kind of circumstance where you need to do maybe maintenance or fixing something. And after you do that, you might have to do a few calculations to check if that action that you take, it is correct. So we use that Simba software that I told you, which is in module A. Okay, so there are some kind of integration between those modules too. Okay, and in the modules, there are also sustainability points. What is the sustainability points? We are giving points for the competitor that perform his work in a more sustainable way. Okay, for example, in the lab, we want to give a few, I'm gonna call extra points, but they're points within the task, but we wanna give points for the ones that use less water, detergent, chemical reactants, the one that minimize the refuse production, to do the proper separation of recyclables, proper disposal of hazard materials that might appear during this analysis. Okay, uses less parts, wiring, pipes, hose, set automation controls to optimize energy efficiency. So all those things count as a sustainability measure. And these points will impact in the final outcome, okay? Because again, we don't want a worker that is just good in water technology. Is not just a great water technician, but we want a great water technician with an environmental consciousness. So if you perform your task like really quickly, and you have a okay outcome, but in the process you make a lot of mess, you spill samples and you waste chemicals and you break things, you damage seals while you're doing maintenance in a pump. It's not a okay practice. So there's separate points and there's a separate award for sustainability. Okay. For example, in Kazan, you can see that the person that wins the sustainability award is not the same one that won the final the medals. Okay, but I will tell you like this: those three guys with medals, they were not that far behind from Lucas regarding sustainability. Okay, you cannot be a very good but not sustainable enough. You have to be more balanced, okay, because these points will impact the final outcome. And to finish, this is the story for Shanghai. Okay, so there's a map of an hypothetical city, and there are some things that you need to do. Okay, so we have 4 days competition. And the first day you're gonna work in a water supply plant. Okay, so in this water supply plant, maybe there are a few maintenance that you need to do. Maybe you need to take some samples and perform some analysis. Maybe you have to clean the water. I don't know. Again, it's still being developed and it's still a secret. Day 2 are gonna work in networks and industry. Maybe there's a few things that you need to check using some sensors. Maybe you need to calibrate some sensors. On day 3, you're gonna work in the wastewater treatment plant. So again, maybe there's maintenance to do over there. Maybe you have to set some automation controls over there. And finally, on day 4, you're working with sludge and biogas. And again, maybe there's a faulty equipment. Maybe there's some chemical analysis to be done. So that's the main story that we have for 2021. Our partners, our sponsors, it's Festo and Adiro. Okay, I come say that we wouldn't be that big as we are right now if it wasn't for Festo and Adiro. The sponsorship, it's great. We have nothing to complain. It's exactly the opposite. They provide us with top equipments and everything, every single thing that we need. Okay. For Shanghai, our test project designers, it's Adiro, DWA. It's a great partnership that we have this year, being the one that is developing the test project, one of them, and IFAC, which is the provider of the software, Simba. And long-time supporting us, there's WorldSkills Germany, again, Festo, which is ever since our beginning, especially in 2015, when it was my first appearance in WorldSkills in Brazil. They support us with a lot of equipment, do everything for automation to even the lab task, everything was given by them. And again, DWA, which is, of course, where this skill was born, was inside DWA. A few contact information. And I think that's it. Rüdiger, thanks again for the invitation. And if you have any questions, I'll be at your disposal.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Rodrigo. Thanks a lot. Maybrit, do you have any questions from the audience?
Yes, we actually have quite a few questions. Our time is quickly running, but I hope that everyone will excuse us, and everyone who has the possibility to hang around a little more, we will try to answer as many questions as we can. Rodrigo, there's a couple of questions for you here to begin with. I would see at one of the slides you showed, there's a question here, why do the participants wear helmets?
Because there's some risk, some occupational hazards involved. So you can bang your head like in a sharp end. Have to remember that we are using real equipment like real pump and tanks made of steel. So there's an occupational risk that we need to take care of. That's why maybe in some tasks they might need helmets. For example, in the lab task, it's obviously that you need gloves and protection goggles. Okay.
There's another question here also to you about the different types of sensors with different ways to calibrate them. And then the question is, will there be a specific type or model of sensors that you need for competitors to be trained on for the competition?
Any kind of sensor that you will find in a water or wastewater treatment plant. Okay, so the idea for the training program that you need to do with your competitor, it's very common for technical delegates to ask me, oh, give me the technical description. I will be happy to give you the technical description. Oh, please give me the task from Kazan, from Abu Dhabi. I'll be happy to give you. However, it is a very important part of this training for you to take your competitor into a treatment plant. There you can see the real life, okay? There you can see sensors, equipment, everything, okay? So you have to think like that. What is happening in the water sector regarding those measurements? Okay, which kind of sensors they're using? Okay, so then you have to start to build your training plan. Okay, so the most common, of course, there will be there like flow, level, pressure, temperature, some chemical analysis like pH, oxygen, dissolved oxygen, nitrate, suspended solids. But I can tell you that's it. It's only those few sensors. No, you have an infinity of sensors that you have to check in the market what is being used for water treatment and wastewater treatment. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Rüdiger, we have a couple of questions also for you.
Yeah.
The first question here, is it possible for one country to participate with more than one team? For instance, team 1 and team 2?
No, that is not possible. It's only one person at the time for each country. But I can strongly recommend that what we do in Germany now, we're choosing also our German competitors, that we keep the people as a team together for training. And Hubert, perhaps you can tell us when the name should be on the list by WorldSkills. I think it's something April or May next year where you really have to put in the name of the person. So you train a group of people that motivates a group. And then at the end, before the official naming, then you choose the best guy out of the team. Hubert, when is the deadline for giving the right name to WorldSkills?
Honestly, my colleague Marlin, she's the specialist for dates and
yeah, roughly.
But it is like you said, I think it is April. First of all, you have to announce your skill that you want to participate as a nation. And as you said, it's very wiseful to create a national team, 3 competitors, for example, training together. And I think it is April like that to name at the end of the day the participant.
Yeah, I can do some input in that. It is around April because it's when you have to do the registration, because then you need to send to WorldSkills International the names from experts and competitors, because they need to provide with credentials and passports, clearance, everything.
Okay, next question.
Yeah, I think, Hubert, this is for you. This is a question, it's a wonderful roundup question, actually, because it's the question is if there exists some kind of brochure in order to convince national TVET organizations to participate in this water technology competition.
Could you
Where can they
repeat?
get more information?
Is there a kind of
Brochure, a flyer, some information materials? Where can they find more information?
Yeah, we have that flyer. We produce that flyer with this group, with Adiro and Festo and WorldSkills. We have a flyer, a PDF we can send around, and that is for, let's say, promoting in the different countries what is the WorldSkills and everything. So if you drop me an email, you get the flyer, and it's also on our DWA website. There's also the flyer, but if you drop us an email, we can send the flyer to everybody. Also, for the old people who are interested to join all the old tasks, as Rodrigo said, you can get it from Rodrigo, you can get it from us. You just ask somebody, please send us the old tasks, what you did last time in Kazan. Everybody is ready to send it. So there's no hiding of old tasks. Also Abu Dhabi tasks, we give them out. That is for free, and you can exercise on the old task. I think that is important. I got one question here. How did the skills competition change our occupation in Germany, and what is the impact to our national jobs? And I tell you, I learned first time I was on the digital wastewater treatment plant with the equipment from Festo. I never did that before. So this was a great experience. I run around with these things, and I learned what is a digital transformation and what is this. So even I'm the training expert in Germany, and we're running a lot of training. I learned a lot. In Kazan, I went to the Future Skill Hall, and I saw BIM, building information modeling, there as a new skill. And we are providing training courses for BIM in Germany now. So I saw it in Kazan, I saw it here, so it gives me the right perspective. This is the right way to do. I went in the Future Skills, I saw a lot of drones over there. In this room here, about 4 weeks ago, we had a webinar about drones in the water sector. 130 people joined, and we will give some more webinars about drones in the water sector. Even the sewer system, we find the drones now running around, flying around. So you see a lot of technology going on, and I'm also supporting Germany now to change our occupation, because we have to, it's already 18 years old, the last update of the occupation, and we're going to change our occupation now because of digitalization and the change of the jobs. So within the next 2-3 years, we will have a new regulation in Germany, because the time is going and digitalization takes place. So there's a lot of influence to my person and to my organization that we have to do something on the normal jobs, and you get a lot of ideas and good ideas. Hubert, one question to you. Mr. Putin, he did all this spending in Kazan, but he has also something in his mind, because he wanted to modernize his vocational training system, I would say. You told me that.
Exactly. After the fall of the Soviet Union, after the end of the Soviet Union, the educational system was on the ground as well. There was nothing again, so we had to establish it again, and we did it with the help of WorldSkills and the WorldSkills standards. We started 2013, and he wanted to showcase the world the progress, what they did in the country, and he could be very proud, because we started from point 0, and now we're on the top of the world with skills competitions. So he was really proud to showcase the world that the young people from Russia now are on the top of the world level. That was maybe one of the main reasons. And just a last add I want to give, some further information you can get from the webpage of WorldSkills. It is worldskills.org. If you are interested in former competitions and the archives of WorldSkills, you can find everything on this really great platform of an international organization.
Okay. Maybrit, we have some more questions, but I think we have to slowly come to an end, I think.
Yeah, I think we have to round it up. So perhaps you would like to tell us a little bit about the next steps?
Yes, I can do that. So the next step, we meet again in this room, in this virtual room in the world, on the 21st of October, same time, 12 o'clock German time. And there we will have Hilmer and two guys, our competitors from India, Aswanta. You saw him already. He's one of the gold medalists. And it's also Lucas. You saw him also. He's one of the sustainable prize guy. So they will explain what happened during the last year, because I think WorldSkills has changed their life. Aswanta, he dropped me a WhatsApp the other day. He said, oh, it's just 1 year back now, end of August. It was end of August last year. And he said he has a lot of nice memories. And I wrote back on the WhatsApp, yes, the same with me. Just 1 year passed, but a lot of things has changed. By the way, Aswanta, he got the chance also to get a scholarship in Germany, and I helped him a little bit on that as well. So unfortunately, Corona came in, and now this situation is stopped, of course, but hopefully that will continue then. So there's a lot of things. They will tell us something about that, and then later on we get the next session. I will tell you later on. So we will have a series of webinars coming on for the future. So last words from our lecturers. Hubert, what you will tell us what we should do the next time, how we should train and what we should do. We have already 13 countries. I think that is good. So I hope we get some more.
It would be nice to have more European countries.
We need more European countries. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. But do what you have done in the past, do it in the future as well, because you're on a good way, and it's incredible to see that. My big wish is to bring, like you said, 80% of the water is not cleaned afterwards and treated. We should bring the skill to the world, to the whole world, and to establish on a national level as well. That's really important because we need that for the ecology.
Yep. Thanks. Rodrigo, what is your last words to the group?
Well, I'm watching how this skill is being built. So it's an honor for me to be part of this. And I saw us like in a very small corner in 2015 in São Paulo, and a little bit bigger in Abu Dhabi, a lot bigger in Kazan, and we will be even greater in Shanghai. So it is an honor for me. And I agree with you, we need a few more European countries. But we're on the right track. We're already 15 countries. We were 11 in Kazan. We were only 7 in Abu Dhabi. And we were 5 in São Paulo. So again, we're growing. We're growing a lot. So again, if you need anything from documentation, if you want to learn a little bit more about our skill, in my presentation there's my mail and also my WhatsApp contact. So anything that you need, you may contact me, and we will keep in touch.
Okay, thank you very much. I think last time I saw the plumbers, they had 29 countries, and I said the plumbers are also dealing with water inside the house, and we bring the water in and get it out. So why not having 29 countries? That's my aim, to have the same number than the plumbers. I think that's the same, because without our supply of water, they could not work. That's pretty easy. Maybrit, you are the host. You close the session.
Yes, I would like to thank everyone for participating in this first WorldSkills webinar. And then I would like to inform you that tomorrow you will receive a follow-up email from this webinar, including the registration link to our next webinar if you are interested in participating also in this. And we will try also to include links to the materials, the presentations you have heard today, and as much information materials as we can offer you. So thank you very much, and have a nice afternoon.